guys, it's CalamitiesDawn here and welcome to another episode of Undermine. So we are trying to defeat the third boss and we've had a bit of trouble doing it so far, but we do get through to it, I suppose. The first run I find a blood bomb, which is a relic, and not a relic. Yes, it is a relic that you can craft, sorry. I then decided to try and take on the boss. As you can see, we died. I did a quick upgrade after that run and decided to craft the blood bomb itself. I then had another round where I just died. I wasn't paying much attention. The run after that, we were lucky enough to actually buy the salamander tail from, I can't even remember his, Dibble. And then we crafted another relic. That run was pretty uneventful, nothing too interesting found, and then I decided to take on the boss again. At this point, I sort of kind of gathered how the boss's mechanics worked, and I did pretty well this time around, but it didn't take long before, unfortunately, I died. That one stung a bit. I then did another upgrade because at this point I realized that my best chance of defeating this boss was using the throwing mechanic, and so by doing such I thought maybe using the javelin relic might have been a good idea. Unfortunately, that's not how that worked either. I then continued to have some back-to-back deaths for a while, which it's unfortunate. The assassins are pretty much the bane of my existence whenever I do these runs because they sneak up on me really bad. After all of those, I still managed to accumulate enough gold to then do another woven glove upgrade. I decided to talk to a blacksmith here to see if there was any other ones that I could craft. And I decided to take the Shadow Fang. Not that that worked either because I died again and again. But still, I went back again for another upgrade if I could. Unfortunately, this time I didn't have enough. I also decided that I was going to craft the mediocre ring, seeming it was quite small. I then took another go at the boss. I think this one would have had to have been my worst run at fighting the boss, as I just lose my health fairly quickly on this one. I wasn't paying much attention, and it just got me big time. I also don't think I personally don't think I had the right relics for this run either, and so yeah, it made things a bit difficult. I then came back and had another look at what would be worth upgrading. I decided maybe health would have been a good idea at this point, but I then decided no, I'll just go for another throw damage upgrade. At this point, I thought I'd go and check and see with our blacksmith friend if I had enough thorium to do another relic. To which I did the, no. I thought I'd done the javelin earlier. I was wrong. I hadn't done the javelin yet. The next couple scenes of footage are from our live stream over at Twitch because I decided that that might be the best way to try and get through the boss because I was having so much trouble doing it in my recording time, and I thought, why not just stream it? I had to chuck in this clip here because this is me not realizing how spikes work. And this wasn't the only time this happened. It happened quite a couple of times on our live stream, which was unfortunate. I eventually figured out how it works, by the way. I died again, unfortunately, but this time we managed to make it down to the boss. I ended up taking a fire potion that shoots out a whole bunch of fireballs, and I just tried my best to take it as patiently as possible this time around. Although the pressure of live streaming and doing a boss fight was a lot more than I anticipated, so I took a lot of damage where I wasn't expecting to, unfortunately. I also had reduced health due to some blessings that I had obtained, and with those blessings I gained curses. So I had mostly damage ones, and one up there was also that I took reduced health regeneration from food. But I tried to be as calm as possible, but it still didn't work. I then decided that to calm my nerves after doing the boss fight again, I was going to go and pat the doggy, because patting the doggy makes me feel better. I had a quick look at whatever upgrades was available to see if there's anything that I could grab. The only one affordable though was the health upgrade, and I thought, why not? We'll just take it. I also had this relic called Golden Delicious, which I do end up grabbing. Purely because it makes all of the food in the dungeon gold, and it increases the buffs that it does a fair bit. I also had at this point a relic that made it so that every time I entered a new room, I would gain some health. And I had a decent amount of relics at this point, and I was feeling pretty game, I suppose. I hope not anyway, otherwise I've just wasted. No, it didn't. Cool. Ah, I should have paid attention there. I wasn't paying attention. Okay. You go here. Cool. That was just unfortunate. Oh, I'm stressing. I'm stressing. I should probably breathe. I am so stressed. I am stressed out of my mind. Yes. Yes. And just like that, after a lot of stressing, I beat the boss. I had to take a minute just to take a breather and have a drink of water, because my god was I stressed out doing that fight. There were several times that I actually looked over at the boss's health and I realized I really, really don't want to let this slip through my fingers, because this is the closest I had been. And when I had defeated that boss, I was so happy. So that meant that the third section of it was now done. I then collected all the thorium and all the lovely rewards that it dropped, and I basked in the glory of my victory for a couple of minutes before I end up realizing that, now we're on another level, and that level is going to be harder again. But I thought, why not? Let's just go give it a look. And apparently this one is called the Caverns, and Bathcat has now inadvertently warned us that it is going to be difficult. Oh, how difficult? I wasn't too sure, but I thought, hey, if I beat that boss, I'm sure it'll be just fine. I come to realize later that those thorns actually hurt you. I didn't realize at this point in time until I started fighting some enemies later on, and they whooped my butt with it. didn't take long before I died. So I was quite shocked. And then as it kept going, as we kept going through, I just realized that I am just going to keep dying here. I'm not prepared enough for this. I'm going to have to figure out a way to be more prepared. So I bought myself a coat upgrade. I bought myself a relic while I was at it. And headed on down for one more run. But I died. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.